y'all, Cody here. I know it's been a long time, but I'm back, better than ever. Alright, so here I got my 2014 Dodge Challenger. It's got the Hemi in it. So what happened is, doing a little racing, broke a piston ring, so I got to throw new rings in it. Nothing, too big. I've already jumped ahead a little bit, undoing some wires, undid the belt, yada yada yada, but shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna try and put the piston rings in with the car, or with the engine in the car, so there's no videos on YouTube doing that. So I'm not sure if anybody's done it before. I'm sure somebody has, but hopefully I can figure it out and be the first one to post a video on Facebook and help save some people some time and money. But yeah, so I've been taking a little break from YouTube, just kind of got a little tired with it and aggravated. So I'm gonna try this again, but like I said, this is my new project. I bought it about a year ago. I built it from basically the bottom up. It's been a good car. I give it hell every day. So I mean, it's a 5.7, but it's been heavily modded. It's got stage 3 cam in it, comp. It's got porter throttle body, got the scat pack intake, Hellcat oil pump, Hellcat lifters, MDS delete. Trying to think what else. It's got a lot of good stuff. Alright, day 2. So I just got off work. I'm hoping to put in at least a couple hours today. Main objective is to take off the rack and pinion. So I already got started up here, as y'all remember, but this side is basically all off. Got the push rods, all that good stuff out the way. This side I left so I can show you, and I'm gonna use that for an excuse because I can't get one bolt out on the far back valve cover. Everything else is out, but one you can't get to. So I don't know, I'm gonna probably, while I'm underneath, I'm gonna loosen motor mounts, go ahead and try and twist the engine clockwise. Maybe I can get some room to get that bolt out. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started pulling the rack and pinion. Alright, I hope y'all can see this. But this is your rack and pinion right here on your Dodge Challenger, and I imagine the Charger be the same. But to take it off, you got, it looks like 2 15 mil bolts, one there and one there. On the tie rods right here, looks to be maybe a 19, maybe 21, both sides. And you got 2 lines right here. No idea on the size, maybe 15s, I don't know. Alright, so that's basically all I see to take this rack and pinion off. Alright, so the tie rod nuts are 21 mils, 1/4 inch drive, easy peasy. I already broke them both loose. Let's go ahead, take the nut off. Then takes you a good size hammer. I'm using a 2-pounder. Hit it right there, even though that one was super easy. But the other side wasn't. Alright, that's all there is to it. Next step, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our lines here. So go ahead and disconnect them. Oh, and they are 18s, not 15s. 18 mils for your lines. And there is no fluid in here, which would explain why I don't have power steering. So, alright, lines is disconnected. Now let's go ahead, try and remove these bolts. I believe are 15s. Yep, that's a 15. Maybe something spinning on the back side. Yep. Alright, so we got a nut on the back side. No idea what size. Move y'all just a tad bit so I ain't breathing in the camera. I'm hoping it's 18, but I have no idea. Alright, 18 is holding it. So, go ahead and loosen this, and I'll bring y'all back. So, I forgot, there's another key thing here. We got to disconnect the bolt going to the steering. Alright, so I hope y'all can see that. Right here, you have a bolt. Just ties the rack and pinion to your steering column. Alright, so that's a 13 mil. Go ahead and take that out, then we can continue. So now it's day 3. Alright, so I finally did get the oil pan gasket off, or the windows tray, whatever you want to call it. But it was a pain in the arse. So basically I had to drop the subframe here. And that was just ridiculous. So there's a bolt right here, 18 mil. And then you got another one up in here somewhere. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. But I didn't take the front one all the way out. I just loosened that one so that I could just drop the back and not have to drop the complete subframe, because getting it back up there by myself in the dirt, it's gonna be awful hard. So I just dropped the back of it. I took out the motor mounts, jacked the engine up using the jack on the transmission with a piece of wood, not hurting it one bit. I had to take off the sway bar. You already seen we took off the rack and pinion. So honestly, it's probably just easier to pull the engine out than do it this way, but we're here now. So as you can see, there she be. About to pull off the head now, and I'll show you what she looks like in the cylinders. Skip ahead now about 3 days. I've done one side of my piston rings, as you can plainly tell. About to put on the head back on it. Here's the head bolts. There's the part number, and the head gasket is part number. Here's the piston ring compressor that I was using. I love this thing, made it so much easier. Yeah, so here's my setup. Just got a Fowler on a homemade table, and there's my Velcro gasket. They are different each side, so you can't just buy one. When I do the right side, I give you that part number as well. The pistons is already in, good and tight. So from my research, I read that you can set them from 12 to 24 thousandths for a NA engine. But I kind of wanted a little bit higher compression, so I set them at 16 thousandths. So I'm hoping that's not too tight, but if it is, you know, we'll obviously find out. But if it ain't, then it should have pretty good compression. But so I'm going to go ahead and throw the head on it. Sorry about not filming. Just kind of hard to film and do all this yourself in the dirt, yada yada yada, you know the drill. Just real quick, I wanted to show you that the head gasket sits on here pretty easy. You got these 2 alignment pins, just put it on here and here. I mean, it's good to go. It ain't going to fall around on you. And I always put the exhaust headers on it first, on the heads, and put them in that way. It's a little bit heavier and a little bit you know, more complicated to finesse in, but you cannot hardly put these headers on with the head already on it. So it's almost impossible. So just so you know, been there, done that. Got the head on, the bolts is snug. Now I gotta torque them. How I torque them is in, out, you know, so like that. And then for these, I just boom, 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 just like so. These 25 and then 40 plus a 90-degree turn. These 15 and then 25. So I already began putting in my push rods. These is hardened for racing performance, you know, engines. You do have a short and a long. So the long's the exhaust, short's the intake. So that's all it is to it. And what I like to do is I take the push rod, I just dab a little bit of engine assembly lube on it, and I'm using Cleveite. So that's all it is. Alright, so your long push rods, it's going to go right in here, and you want to make sure that they seat good and secure into the lifters, which on my car is MDS deleted. So I got the Hellcat lifters in it, or solid lifters, whatever you call them. Alright, and for the intake push rods, got a hole in the head right here. Same thing, make sure they seat good. You probably heard that one click in pretty good. Whatever you do, don't put them in down here. Alright, so sometimes this is kind of tricky to do, but how I like to do it is you take your rocker arm assembly, leave it all together, and then try and get them angled right, and then you can just put them all straight in, just like so. Now your intake is going to be labeled I, so I'll show you that here in a second. So I mean, it's pretty easy, ain't that complicated to figure out which one is which. So, but they are, as you can see, sometimes a pain to get on. Alright, so there we have that. Then like I said, your intake push rods is already in. You can dab a little engine assembly lube on there, and you're good to go. Tighten her down. I don't really, you're supposed to torque them, I forget, it's like inch, pound, something other, but I just snug them down because you don't want to tighten them too tight because they are prone to breaking. So here's what I was saying about the rocker rollers. The arms is labeled. This one, as you can see, no labels. But if you look on the one I just put on, you have an I there. So you know that's your intake. And this is the exhaust. So all my bolts went in good and easy. But this one right here wanted to strip out on me. It's tight, but it's not as tight as the rest of them. That's one of the downfalls on these. I mean, you got steel bolts going in aluminum heads. I don't know, I don't like it. That's why you don't have to tighten them tight, but I didn't tighten them tight, and it's already starting to want to strip on me. So I'll see how it does. If it throws a push rod, we'll know we have to go in and tap it and put a bigger one, but I think it'll be all right. The rest of them are super tight. So, and that one's barely tight, but I don't really like it. Alright, so yeah, it's going to be a problem. Spun the engine over using a jack handle with a ratchet on it, and on the exhaust, when it comes up, as you can see, it is lifting it up, so it's not good. Alright, so what I'm going to try and do is just take out this one bolt and see if I can, I don't know, I have to see. Alright, so now it's 5 days later. I got my my rocker arm back off. This is the hole that's bad that we got to repair. How I'm gonna repair it is with a Healy coil. Got this off eBay. It's got everything I need in it. So it's got the correct bit, it's got the tap, and it's got 3 different size coils. So we're gonna have to start drilling it out, getting that ready for that to go in, and just hope for the best. That's all I know. If I gotta buy a new head, you're just gonna have to buy a new head. But hopefully we can save it with the Healy coils. As for this, I just picked this up. Finally got here today. It's the whole same kit that I bought for the piston rings for the Hemi. Because the last one was missing the ring, so I had to buy a whole new kit for one ring. So got that in. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it drilled out and tapped and hopefully fixed. First things first, I'm gonna go ahead and get my drill bit, tighten her down. And this is aluminum, so it's gonna drill very easy. And you know, the head is sealed at the bottom here, so no metal is gonna go down in there. But let's go ahead, get her centered about perfect, drill her out. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. All right, now we can run our tap down into it, but I'll do that once I get this cleaned out. I'll bring y'all right back. All right, so I'm just gonna try and hold this down as far as I can without breaking it, and hope for the best. Trying to make sure to do this as straight as possible. And they claim that this would be stronger than it was from the factory. So, and these don't hold a lot of tension, so I'm hoping that it'll be more than enough. Alright, I'll bring y'all back when I get it finished. So to install this, it comes with the rod. You just take it, screw it inside the Healy coil, just like so. It's going to hook and grab down here on the bottom. So now we can go ahead and screw this in. They recommend, I think, a half thread below the surface. It would be kind of interesting to know if you could put 2 of these in, because it's kind of a deep thread, and 2 would probably be better than 1. But we're just going to try 1 and hope for the best. So like I said, now we can just go ahead and screw the Healy coil in. Well, I may have to take my adapter here. Let's see. Maybe like so, maybe. We're just going in easy. I might put this one in just a thread or so below what they recommend, because it is so deep, and I do want to make sure that it grabs good into the threads down below, because the actual threads start slightly below the surface. So alright, now let's undo this, and then we'll check it out, see how or we went down. I think I might go some more because like I said, I don't even see the thread starting. So like I said, for this instance, I'm gonna go a little bit further down, and I'll show you here in a second why, but I'll bring you back. All right, so I hope y'all can see down in there, but that's where the helicoil is sitting. I put about a thread below where the thread started after I tapped them, so that's as to what they actually recommend. But what I was saying is not to do it below the surface of this, the tip of the head here. So you want to do it at the threads where they begin. All right, so we got that tapped. Now this is the rocker arm bolt. So and looky there, screws right in there. That's good. So now we only have one more step, and at the base of them, hang on, I'll show you on another one. You have that lip that you use to screw it in. It comes with a little punch. Now you have to put the punch in here and just barely break it loose. And you know, I wish there was a way I could get it out. If I had a super tiny magnet, I could get it out because it is steel. But I'm gonna try and just blow it out. So we're gonna try it. There's the moment of truth right here. I wish I could chase the threads on this, but I don't have a die to do it. But we'll do it and hope for the best. That's all we can do. Alright, we're going to save that one for kind of the last to tighten up. So let's go ahead and start slowly working these down. Always kind of start with these first. Start with the middle three and work your way back and forth. And just take it real slow, you know. Actually, this one here needs to come over just a little bit. I think that's good enough. Alright, that just saved our ass. Alright, so I got the valve cover on that side. So to take the valve cover off on this side, like I was saying, there's one bolt that you just can't get to. But the only way I figured out that you can get to it very easily is by pulling out the computer. If you look right down there, you can see it. I don't know, and let me see if I can stick y'all down in there. I hope you can see it, but if not, it's there. Alright, so now you're gonna have to take your alright, that didn't work. Anyways, fell off, but you can see my setup. I'll show you just right here. I just got 2 long extensions and electric cordless drill or impact, whatever. So that's how I'm gonna get to it. Fast forward 10 minutes later, got the rocker arms, push rods out. Alright, so now I can go ahead and disconnect it from down below on the exhaust headers and pull the head off. So unlike the other side, I got all the head bolts out, but as you see, I don't have an idler pulley on this side. So what I done was I just put a head bolt from here into here, just screwed it in, you know, about, I don't know, 5 threads. That'd be plenty. And that allowed me to break it loose and gives me something to hold on to. Alright, so I'll set you up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the head and header out of here. Alright, so I'm about to call it a day. Got the head off. So I'm glad for that. Alright, so tomorrow I'll be dropping the pistons and putting new rings in. So at least we'll be getting pretty close to being done. I'm hoping today's Saturday, tomorrow be Sunday. Hopefully get the pistons in and go from there, and then throughout my work week I can resume throwing in, you know, the bottom end parts, you know, oil pan and the subframe, rack and pinion, all that good stuff. So I don't know, she's coming along, or he's actually, it's a boy. His name's Phantom, for y'all that don't know. Alright, well, I'll get back with you tomorrow. Alright, next day, here's my setup for my honing. I just got me a dingleberry 180 grit. Here's my piston that I got out. I just got my oil rings. The middle oil ring I got right here, ends over here. Then I flip the piston over. I do second compression ring, top compression rings up here. So they're, you just gotta make sure they ain't lined up and you're good to go. So over here is my piston that I just did, crosshatch. I don't know if you can see it because the sun is just baking down today. It's 80 something degrees. It's almost November. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do one at a time. I'm doing the hardest one first, and that way the other 3 go a little bit easier. It was super hard getting the hone into number 4 without taking the front brace off, but I can't take the front brace off because it's literally is what's keeping my subframe from falling out. So anyways, with that being said, I'm not going to really show how to do this because it's pretty you know, common sense really, but just put it down in there and make sure everything's lined up. The rod end caps are broke, so they only go on one way. Hope you can see that, but what I done here is I just marked it, you know, how it would go. That way from down below it's a whole lot easier. So yeah, that's all it is to it. I'll go ahead and get the other, well, all 4 of them in and cleaned up, and I might bring you back before I throw the head on, but I got a couple buddies over and I don't know if they want to be on film, so I probably won't do too much filming. Alright, well, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Got 3 in, but one of them, when I was taking it off, was a little iffy, and lo and behold, it needs a bearing. So yep, The inside of the rod is actually bad too, so I got to buy, I'm gonna just buy a whole one piston, you know, piston, rod, and bearing. And like I said, I'm gonna just put one bearing in because bop it, I'm about to build another engine for it anyways. So so that's where I'm at now. So back at another standstill for who knows, another week. So this will probably be the last time I work on it for about 5 days. All right, one more week later, got her all put back together, so everything's good to go. Subframe's on, rack and pinion, everything's good to go. So I just want to crank it up for a second and hear how she runs, and hopefully she cranks up, and then go from there. I'm gonna hand the camera over to my buddy. He's gonna do the filming. All right, here we go. One more week later. I apologize about it taking, you know, an extra week longer than planned, but I got the flu and I'm just now getting over it. So I was down for like all week, so I couldn't do anything. But you got to hear the car run. Now I just got to finish the break-in process, do a few odds and ends here and there, clean up my mess. I got WD-40 and PB blaster and brake cleaner all over the place, and I got some antifreeze I want to put in it. But it's been a cold, wet, and miserable day. But been inside watching my Clemson Tigers win. Heck yeah. All right, for my originals that like my classic car content, I did pick up this 1980 Firebird. She is complete, all original. Well, I'm pretty sure that's original paint, but all original, very solid overall. No major rust or anything like that. Finally got the hood open. It was stuck shut, but I'll do a video on it soon, show you, you know, what she's got under the hood and the inside, and maybe we can do a will it run video. So stay tuned for that. It was last on the road in 1996, so yeah, it's been here a long time, or it's been sitting a long time. And I still got my old Poncho 56 Pontiac. I want to hurry up and get it running, driving soon. Now that I'm done my Phantom, I can actually get some other projects done. This thing has been, it's more of, I don't know, it's more or less just become a race car. So it's been little by little just dollaring me to death. So now at least I got some spare time and money. But alright, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for more on it, like I said, and stay tuned for the Firebird and Pontiac. And I still got my mom's 80 Camaro, my 2-door 57 hardtop, my 55 Ford. I still got the Nash that I need to finish, so I still got a lot of projects and good content ready for y'all. Alright, thanks for watching. Still my dog Larry.